disfigured, mutilated, and dead. The turbulent history of slap fighting. That's a sport where people they smack each other in the face, get a bunch of chalk, some baby powder, put it on the hand, blow it, rub it together. Smack each other until they get CTE. So we're gonna see the history. Hopefully there's some crazy ass knockouts.
And the irony that they moved it to accommodate this slap crap, this nonsense.
Barbaric comedy, but it's not funny at the end of the day. Like it's absurd and it's stupid.
And why it's a problematic money grab by greedy promoters.
Perhaps the most absurd and senseless sport in the world is about to go mainstream.
But this is not my cup of tea.
Speaking of tea, the
You're allowed
word
to do that with
slap
earrings?
was first recorded in England around 1632 and refers to the act of striking a person with the open palm of the hand. The purpose of a slap is often to humiliate more than injure, and a slap in the face is a common idiom dating back to the late 1800s that means to rebuke, rebuff, or insult.
Richard!
Ooh!
Oh, wow! Wow, dude!
It has rarely been utilised as a weapon for knocking someone unconscious. After all, it's far harder to generate the same amount of force as a punch or kick. But this is exactly the crux of why slapping competitions have begun to grab the world's attention.
That's actually more dangerous than punching someone. If you can hit someone hard over and over again without them going out, you're more likely to gain long-term damage than if someone hit you one time. You know what I'm saying? It's just more dangerous. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
It is a Russian roulette as to when someone will be sparked out cold. There is no
God
guarantee.
damn!
According to Black Belt magazine, slap competitions seem to have originated in Russia. It has been claimed that strongmen alternated between
where all the most unreasonable shit comes from, Russia.
each other until someone fell unconscious or gave up. The sport then
Hold on,
spread
it was black people in
until
Russia?
someone fell unconscious or gave up.
Oh yeah.
The sport then spread into Eastern Europe, with it being popularized from a series of viral videos starring 375-pound Russian sensation Vasily Kamotysky. Known as Dumpling, Kamotysky was seen in one video knocking a massive opponent unconscious.
What do you have in your arms, bro? Did he pump his arms with
Kamotysky
lead?
was seen in one video knocking a
What is this? I don't think it's ever been that serious. I don't think any part of life has ever been that serious. That's the way you need to pump your arms for the lead. That's just crazy work.
massive opponent unconscious
Jeez.
to win 30,000 rubles or roughly $475. From around 2020 onwards, punchdown events have taken place in cities across Poland, which has played a major role in seeing the sport gradually trickle into the Western world. In February 2022, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Logan Paul joined forces to launch the Slap Fighting Championship in the US. At the Arnold Sports Festival in Columbus, Ohio between the 2nd and 5th of March 2022. According to the rules, there were 3 rounds with each competitor slapping their opponent once per round. 3 judges then marked the score in order to work out a winner. A knockout was scored if a competitor was unable to continue 30 seconds after being slapped. The event proved to be a success with an abundance of notable highlights.
That jaw. Here we go. Mad Max.
You know what's crazy? I saw a clip of this guy get smacked the F out of by Larry Wheels. If you know, Larry Wheels is strong as hell. But the technique this guy used, like, he kind of like flinched into it. Which is like completely nullified the power. And then he knocked Larry Wheels the F out.
Since then, the UFC president Dana White has launched his own version of the show, known as Power Slap. The show was due to premiere on January the 11th, 2023, but was delayed till a week after due to the release of a video in which White slapped his wife in a Mexican nightclub at a New Year's Eve party.
Wait, hold on. I gotta see who slapped first.
But was delayed till a week after due to the release of a video in which White slapped his wife in a Mexican nightclub at a
that's why he likes John Jones so much.
Year's Eve party, and that, my friends, is irony. Upon airing, the show itself was far less popular than originally anticipated, drawing only 250,000 viewers, whilst its professional wrestling counterpart program, AEW Dynamite, was attracting upwards of 1 million. Consequently, on the 13th of March 2023, Warner Media and TBS representatives confirmed to media sources that the network will no longer air Power Slap following the first season finale.
Interesting.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh.
Is he knocked out?
Now, in the
Yeah.
show's short shelf life, it has received a torrent of criticism and created controversy, primarily concerning the health of the participants. I have already made a video in which I cover chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a disease which arises when an individual receives consistent blows to the head, so do check that out if you want an in-depth breakdown of the topic. Anyway, it's believed that this new sport unnecessarily exposes participants to the risk of developing CTE as they simply wait to be struck without protecting themselves.
there's no
Many
protection.
specialists have pointed to one of the show's contestants displaying the fencing response after being struck, an indication of serious brain injury. In addition, a number of combat sport athletes also had a negative view on the ordeal, with boxer and WBC champion Ryan Garcia calling Power
I
Slap
do think that's retarded though. Just standing there, went to get your shit rocked. I do think that's one of the things where it's like, if you're doing that, you need some money. You need some money bad. You need some money. You might as well just go sell your liver at this point. Because I don't know what the numbers look like. They can't be that good, right? I can't say if you'd ever catch me on a Power Slap competition. You never know. But I will say, if a nigga smack me that hard and I go out, I ain't gonna be the only one with hospital bills. And that's a fact.
a horrible idea and saying it needed to be stopped. Meanwhile, UFC fighter Sean O'Malley stated that he refused to watch Power Slap due to its association with brain injuries. Nevertheless, Dana White fired back at his critics with this.
But in slap, they take 3 to 5 slaps per event. Fighters in boxing take 300 to 400 punches a fight. And guess what? You know what my answer to that is? If you don't fucking like it, don't watch it.
On February
Okay.
16th, 2023,
The difference is you're allowed to cover yourself in boxing. And not only that, in boxing, you're not getting knocked out repeatedly. In Power Slap, you're getting knocked out repeatedly. And I'm not talking about the people who tank. I'm talking about the people who genuinely get hit and go out. And then they get, 20 seconds or something to get back up? That's so much time. In boxing, you don't get hit that often in the professional level. And when you are getting hit that often, it's like you're required to take a bunch of time off afterwards. I don't know what it's like for Power Slap, but I can say it's far less developed than something like boxing.
It's got even worse for Power Slap, as two congressmen, Bill Pascrell and Don Bacon, announced that they were launching a congressional inquiry into the ethicality of Power Slap.
Nick, please, you are
Both
not
have
that happy to
publicly
be there.
voiced their disdain for the organization for turning the brutal spectacle into entertainment.
Oh. Did he change his
Furthermore,
facial
the
structure?
organisation for
He
turning the
changed
brutal
his facial structure. Oh yeah.
spectacle into entertainment. Furthermore, in early March, the Florida Athletic Commission has stalled a request to open a slap fighting league pending advice from medical experts. It seems that the rapid expansion of the sport has begun to falter. So, let's address Dana White's claim that boxing is more dangerous than slapping contests. Well, firstly, in boxing you're taught to camouflage your punches so that you can set up a big punch.
Yeah.
If a person winds up
Not
too
every
much,
punch in boxing is 100% power as well. Because if you throw 100% power every time, real boxers know you're going to gas out. So every punch is maybe like 50 to 70% in a real fight. And then you'll have the occasional 90 to 100% punch, which is usually a setup. Unless people are just brawling, in which case someone's going out. In which case the fight's going to get stopped. Unlike Power Slap, where everything's 100%.
then the opponent will often be able to identify it as a threat and slip, duck, or even block it. It's therefore a complex skill to land a massive hit
Boom!
with
This
the
was such a
person's full
beautiful
force
count.
behind it, and doesn't happen all that regularly. On the other hand, in slapping competitions you are able to wind up, and the other person just has to brace themselves to take
Sonic
it.
coins.
As the training
Jesus.
improves and people deliver more powerful slaps, things can
Oh
only
nah,
get worse.
nah. If I enter a Power Slap competition and I see a Polish motherfucker, where's the exit? Where is the exit, sir? Where is he? Where is the exit? Where is my Uber? I'm not being slapped by him. No. I'm going home.
Ultimately, when these guys get knocked out,
He doesn't
it's
know
a proper
which dimension he's
concussion,
in.
like one from being hit with a baseball bat. This fact was all too evident at one particular
like-
competition held in Poland, named Punchdown 5. David Zalewski faced Artur Walczak in a bitter slapping duel on October the 22nd, 2021, which resulted in Artur suffering a cerebral hemorrhage and unfortunately passing.
You see what I
which
mean?
resulted
He's
in
not-
bitter
he's not
slapping
out
duel
cold
on October
completely.
the 22nd.
Oh, they get 25 seconds? Wait.
At one particular competition.
Oh, they
held in
get
Poland,
30 seconds to recover. That's so bad for you.
named Punchdown 5. David Zalewski faced Artur
So you're getting
Walczak
knocked out multiple times per slapping competition. That's so bad.
in a bitter slapping duel on October the 22nd, 2021, which resulted in Artur suffering a cerebral hemorrhage and unfortunately passing away.
Holy
A monumental slap from Zalewski had severely damaged his brain, compelling doctors to put him into a drug-induced coma from which he would never wake up.
Yo, rest in peace. I gotta see how much these motherfuckers make because there's just no way. 2,000 to 10,000 per match? What? Wait, let's see how frequently pro slappers slap. Oh, they have seasons, so they're doing it multiple times. Yo, that's so dangerous, especially for the heavier guys. That's so dangerous. Yo, that's actually crazy. Yeah, hell nah.
Second point that leaves slapping as a far more dangerous endeavour than boxing is the variation in rounds across the multitude of organisations. In boxing,
You can
the
tense that
maximum
neck
of 12
as much
rounds
as you
rule has
want.
been somewhat standardised, yet certain slapping federations don't impose stringent
What
limits.
is this? What are we doing? What is this? What am I looking at right now? Someone gonna explain what the I'm looking at? What is this bullshit? Why is 7'2" Makarov fighting 5'3" George? This is unbelievable.
Upon how long a bout can go on.
I'm
for.
sorry, brother.
This
shouldn't have
obviously
happened
leads
to
to more horrific injuries and long-term
No, he cheated.
consequences.
Alright, look, he should have done that. He should have done that. But he cheated. Aren't you not allowed to do that?
This obviously leads to more horrific injuries
I don't
and
even blame
long-term
him.
consequences. In late January of
I'm still surprised he's
2023,
slapped.
a man was left with a disfigured
Yeah,
face
fuck that.
after a brutal 30-minute slapping contest. The bout was held in Romania, where the Romanian MMA promotion organisers allowed the striking to continue for 10 rounds unchecked.
And he won?
Khamzat Sorin's face was left completely
Hey, bruh.
disfigured and covered in blood after
God
30 minutes
damn.
of indefensible slaps from his opponent. It often isn't the fingers that are connecting with the opponent's
It's the
face,
palm and-
but instead
and
it's
this
the
part.
palm which does somewhat emulate a
This part,
punch.
especially.
The prolonged periods of unchecked hits is simply a recipe for disaster.
Okay.
The third big problem is the fact that in certain countries the rules seem to allow a person's entourage to hold them up after receiving a massive hit. This obviously prevents the body's defense mechanism of shutting down or being knocked out from doing exactly what it is there to do, protect the recipient. This can obviously lead to head trauma being repeatedly worsened throughout a bout, contributing to the individual developing CTE. Ultimately, different organisations have adopted a variety of
Should have
safety
you
measures
chasing colors. God damn.
to try and protect the participants in slap competitions. This has ranged from implementing the compulsory wearing of earplugs and mouth guards to putting spotters in place to stop a person's head hitting the floor once they fall. But this has appeared to have little effect in protecting the
That was impressive. He generated a lot of power from just that
floor once
small
they
movement.
fall. But this has appeared to have little
That was
effect
impressive.
in protecting the slapping individuals
Yeah,
or dampening
Like
the
some
widespread
bad.
criticism from the press and leading experts. In spite of all this bad press, the recent months have seen unprecedented growth in the sport, with leagues arising in the UK, Nigeria, Germany and Southeast Asia. Even betting companies such as DraftKings has determined the sport to be safe enough to hold bets on, and is now operating in 9 US states. So what do you guys think? Could this become the new MMA, boasting a global reach and adoring fans? Or will it simply slump under the weight of the negative public opinion? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new.
That was a lot to unpack. Let me know in the comments, am I wrong in assuming they make 2,000 to 10,000 per match? And how often do they fight, quote unquote? Would you do slap competition? Me personally? Fuck no. I don't really like sports with a lot of breaks. And I also don't really like the idea of 7'2" Makarov with the palm the size of the earth wrapping his hand around my head and proceeding to twist his entire 6'9", 320-pound frame into a slap that's gonna knock my neck into a different area code. I don't really like that idea, but you guys might be different. Hope you enjoyed the video.